Hey, it's Beers with Bands, and we're here drinking with Magic Giant.
Hello! Woo!
So, tell us what you're drinking, who you are, and what you're drinking.
My name is Zambricki. I play the fiddle. I'm drinking an IPA.
Ah! You're not drinking it now. Wow, get it? Get in there.
Stony, yet archaic. A hint of jasmine.
My name's Zang. I'm drinking an Ace Hill Pilsner.
Hey, I'm Austin. I'm drinking an Ace Hill La Hare.
They pronounce that lager. He thinks it's because he's in Montreal. We're not even in Montreal, dude. We're in Toronto. Wow.
And I am drinking a Belgian Stella Artois. Okay, first beer you ever had.
Wow. First beer must have been a Bud Light or something. I can't even remember.
Mine was a natural ice. And I was in the woods, and I was like 16, and someone was smoking a cigarette, and I felt so dirty. I think honestly it was because the people who bought it was like slightly higher alcohol content, and we were like, it was cheap, and it was like the strongest cheap stuff you could get. And when you're like 16, I guess you want the most bang for your buck.
Yes.
I was like 3, and I would reach up on the counter and grab my parents' that was just sitting there.
Yeah.
I think it was Bud.
Budweiser?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first
Yeah, right.
CD you ever had?
First CD I ever had was Green Day Dookie. It was actually my older sister's CD, but I just like stole it from her.
Nice.
The first CD I ever had, I think it must have been a Metallica CD. Though the first band I ever liked were the Spice Girls.
Nice. Nice.
Ace of Base, the one with I Saw the Sign.
Did they only have one, though? Didn't they only have one album?
hit wonder.
Oh, they only had one album?
I don't know.
That I don't know.
Oh.
Google it.
Google it later. Google it later. What are you listening to a lot of right now? So if we pulled out your phones, what would be the last song?
You know,
that
it's
was
actually
just playing?
it's a song that our drummer and bassist Costa and Jesse showed us. Sharon Van Etten. The song is called
The Sun Don't Rise.
every ooh, every when the sun goes out, I'm in trouble. What's that song called, Jesse? Every time the sun comes up, I'm in trouble. Yeah, great song, Sharon Van Etten.
The thing I was listening to most recently is this. It's called Cheap, and it's a side project of our drummers. Take it back to the drummer and bassist. Yeah, it came out today. It's pretty sick. It's really good vibes.
I've been kind of throwing it back to Velvet Underground. Specifically listening to like the Nico stuff, like I'll Be Your Mirror, which that's one Lou sang, but like...
Because we're here? Yeah.
What do you mean?
We're in the Velvet
Oh, we're at the Velvet Underground. No, it's not why. No. Okay, why would I plug a venue that we're going to be at for one day? If like that was the name of our upcoming album, Velvet Underground, maybe. But no, I've just been throwing it back because I think it's because we've been working with some producers that are doing girl singers, and Nico and the Velvet Underground to me is like the best way that has been done in the dark kind of indie world, and a lot of people skip it.
Nice. Nice. If you could only... Oh, sorry, what are you drinking a lot of right now?
Drinking?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be beer. It could be wine. It could be anything.
I really got into mate, like original mate out of a gourd, the traditional Uruguay style, or anywhere kind of in South America they're doing that. And that's been my
Go-to.
Yeah, my substitute for alcohol. It's really nice. It gets me wired, by the way. So wired.
Matcha. And I went to Japan recently and was looking for all the matcha I could get. And then it took me into this loophole with matcha ice cream.
Oh.
And then I just started having ice cream, and I forgot what my mission was. So then I was just having 7 ice creams a day. And I was like, wait, I forgot why I'm here.
You know, lately I've actually I've been drinking champagne after the shows because we can put stuff on our rider, and if you put champagne on the rider and after the show you open a bottle of champagne, it doesn't matter how the show went because it's like you're opening champagne and everyone's like yeah, and like it's like a good time. So I think that's been my new go-to.
Nice. If you could only drink one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Alcohol or non?
It doesn't matter. It's the only thing you'll ever get to drink again.
If it were alcohol, you'd be pretty messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be like a chamomile tea.
Forever sleepy.
Yeah, just kind of like dream-like state, you know.
Dang, what would I?
Generally, for survival, most people answer water.
Smoothie. Water smoothie, blended, please.
Yes.
Blended water.
I guess coconut water, right? You could probably survive on coconut water.
That's a good answer.
With only one, one specific coconut water, and it's called Harmless Harvest. Are we already?
Yeah, and if you could only listen to one band, one artist, one genre of music, one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would probably be Queen.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they're my all-time favorite because they're just so interesting. Like you would never get bored of Queen music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many different things that they've done and weird feelings that they've created in their music.
You know, this is actually a band I don't listen to that much, but I feel like if you're going to have to listen to one thing for the rest of your life, it kind of needs to be in the backgroundy, like just in the cut. Whereas Queen, for me, after a while, I feel like I'd be like, it's like so like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the band Bahamas, because it just kind of like lays in the cut, and then you're just like, it'll be in the background. I'm not plugging it, man.
It's full circle.
Wait, are we in Canada?
Wait, where am I? So yeah, I would say Bahamas. Chillax.
You said a genre,
Or yeah.
so
Yeah, you
I'm
can
gonna
go with the
say
genre.
top 40 because that's always you're always gonna have new music in that
Yeah.
genre.
True.
So I'll be satisfied for life.
True. Yeah, she found the loophole in the question. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and you're not answering for yourself unless you believe it is for yourself. So, who in the band is most likely to lose a piece of gear?
Wow. All right. 3, 2,
Oh my God.
1.
Austin.
Does that include the hotel key?
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Austin.
Who's most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse?
3, 2, 1. Zambricki. I have a bunker, dude.
This is true.
And a bow. And I got a crossbow, man. What do you got?
You have a crossbow?
I got a crossbow, dude. I'll show you later.
If you guys weren't musicians, what would you be?
I'd be a film director, I think. Or a dancer. Or a chef. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Not a chef.
A parkour artist or a Foley artist?
Foley artist, for those who don't know, Foley artistry is when you add sound effects to movies, but in real life. So like if somebody's walking, you would like make the tapping sound and record it over it. If somebody like jumped into the water, you would like splash your hand in a bucket and it would
Very
sound like
cool.
the person jumping into the water.
Very cool.
I think I would be like a conservationalist, like with sea turtles. I would find like one animal that really needs help, and I would dedicate my entire life to that animal.
That's pretty cool.
That is very
Which
cool.
animal would that be?
You know, I went to the jaguar reserve in Costa Rica, and it started because like this jaguar kind of limped up to these people's home that lived in the jungle, and they started this whole reserve based on that. So they have like all kind of hurt animals. They all kind of gather them there, nurse them back to health, and then try to release them. But there was like they had all these sloths, which sloth is like considered like people in Costa Rica, people like don't like them and kill them, but they're actually like one of the most amazing creatures, and they have this moss that grows on them that only grows on the sloth. It's the only place it exists in the world, and there's like antioxidants and things like they could basically have like the cure for cancer somewhere in the sloth, but we're like knocking them out of trees because they're ugly. So I probably would save the sloth.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, last question, guys. You all get to answer it individually. You get to brew your own beer or alcoholic beverage or beverage in general.
Okay.
What are you brewing? Are you making? What's your secret ingredient? And which one of your songs would you name it after?
I got this. Oh. What?
You each get to answer it. Yeah, can all have your own business.
No, you please.
I would do absinthe.
Okay.
But I would use a southern wormwood because the absinthe that you find around isn't using southern wormwood, so it doesn't actually have psychoactive effects. So I would go old school Edgar Allan Poe, absinthe to southern wormwood, and I would call it Great Divide.
Nice.
Which is our song.
I would do a cider, a mango cider. I've never seen a mango cider. I've seen all these other boring fruits. My secret ingredient would be tamarindo. The tamarind. Is it? It's a natural. It's a really sour fruit. I love sour. I want it to be a sour, tangy thing, and I would call it. Let's start again.
Nice.
Because it'd be the end of a crazy night.
Nice.
You have to wake up and start all over.
I'm thinking between a couple different things, but I guess I'd have to say kombucha, sweetened with fruit juice, and I would.
Your secret ingredient is fruit juice?
My secret ingredient is algae.
Nice.
Could that be it? And I'll call it jade.
Very cool.
It'll be kind of
Green?
Cool.
Very cool. Thank you very much for answering these questions. Do you want to tell us what's coming up next for you guys?
Planning. Well, like, when does this come out?
In the next week
It's
or so?
out now. I mean, we're on tour until March, and then we have a song coming out this Friday. So by the time this is out, it'll already be out.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Well,
hopefully
hopefully
the
the song will be,
No,
or
hopefully
hopefully
the
the
video,
interview.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the song's
Yes.
song's called Rocket Man, and we've been shooting a video on this tour, so that will hopefully be out. Yeah, those are the big things. We're working on an album coming out in the fall, but yeah.
I mean, we're a band. We got music coming out.
We'll be at Firefly Music Festival this summer, and we'll be
cool.
doing some other festivals too.
Awesome. Hope to be at that one as well. Again, thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
is Magic Giant. They are at Magic Giant across all socials. Is that correct? At Magic Giant. I will post a link to all of their socials at the post below. Make sure you give us a follow at BeerX and our new social media handle at Beers Bands. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.